morning, nerds. Welcome to the Mobile Musings for Thursday, June 20th. June 20th. This month is flying by. Had a good day yesterday. Worked all 8 hours, which was the only frustrating part because I really wanted to get out early in order to go to the soccer game. But probably turns out for the better because it was hot. It was very hot yesterday and humid. So that would have been frustrating as well. Anyways, got home. The wife had ordered a box of meat from a local farmer, which is part of the reason why I had to get out early, because I had to come home and take care of that. So they ship it on dry ice, and I didn't want to, considering how hot it was, I didn't want to get home and the dry ice all be melted and evaporated, whatever you want to call it, and then all that meat have gone bad. But got home, took care of that, hung out with the dog for a little while, and then watched the match. It was a barn burner. Ended up 7 goals in that match. We won by 1 on a 100th minute goal. It was 1-1 at halftime. And there were 5 goals scored in the second half, including the one scored in the 10th minute of stoppage time. It was crazy. Anyways, that was a good game last night. And then I actually ended up going to bed kind of early last night. For whatever reason, I've just felt so tired the last couple days. I don't know if it's not necessarily even the heat, because I'm not out in it, and so it's not like I'm getting all the energy sapped out of me because of that. But I don't know, just wasn't feeling all that awake last night. I was falling asleep right after the game and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. Wonder if it's that whole lack of motivation to do stuff just kind of kept me kind of tired. Speaking of which, I almost forgot to post the video yesterday. I ended up posting it on the way home from work. No. I ended up posting it once I got home and got it was a lot later than it should have been. Let's put it that way. So hopefully I remember to do this one. Oh man. Like I've been saying, my routine is all out of whack, and I am a creature of habit, a creature of routine, and it's just not been there the last couple days for whatever reason. And yes, I am driving my wife's van again, mainly because it gets a lot better gas mileage and is a lot less expensive to fill up. So I'm going to drive it while it's available. It also has a whole lot less miles on it, a whole lot less wear and tear on it. It's a lot newer, it's a lot more comfortable. But it's not my truck. It's definitely not my truck. But yeah. Yesterday was so hot. They had a celebration of Juneteenth yesterday at work with a food truck, and they also had brought out some cookies. Like the pastry department at work had brought out cookies and all that kind of stuff, and it was so hot that the cookies literally were like they were fresh out of the oven. They were still soft, and even the chocolate chips were still melty. That's how hot it was yesterday. It had never gotten a chance to really solidify. So, the cookies were great. Made for good cookies, but not for comfortable times. So, man, beard is itching today. The wife and kids are still out of town, obviously. They said they had a fun time at the water park yesterday, which is a good thing because it was also apparently fairly warm there. Not quite as hot, but fairly warm. But hey, at least they had fun. I started getting texts from my kids about like 15 minutes left in the game. Like, what the heck was that? And I was like, I guess you guys started watching the game. Because they were at the water park until like 9 o'clock last night. So it was kind of funny. But they're having fun there, hanging out with each other. That's the best part about having kids 13 and a half months apart, is that they are like each other's best friend. They've found best friends outside of the family, outside of each other. But then, for the most part, I mean, of course, they're siblings. They're going to fight a little bit here and there. But for the most part, they are each other's best friend, and it's amazing. So, yeah. I saw an interesting quote right before I started this from the Daily Dad. It said, your kids owe you nothing and you owe them everything. And I don't think that necessarily like means what you would think on the surface. Like on the surface it would say like they've done something for you, so you owe them. But no, I think it means something a little bit deeper, as far as like you owe them, like you need to give them everything that they need in their life. You need to give them a good foundation in order to live their life in a good way. Like, I don't know, it's something I literally just saw it before I started filming, so I haven't gotten a great chance to think all the way through it. But I think it's an interesting quote. It's from Ryan Holiday. It's the writer of the Daily Dad and the Daily Stoic, and it's an interesting thought. Like, we try to provide our kids with everything that we can in order for them to have a fun life, a good life, a good foundation in order to be better people even than we are. Because, like, I know I'm not a perfect person. I know my kids aren't perfect people. I know my wife's not a perfect person. But, like, I try to give them a life that will get them as close to perfect as they can be. I still, despite the fact that I don't go to church, despite the fact that I'm not a practicing religious person. Why did I get in that lane? Despite the fact of all that, like, I still try to live my life by the tenets that were set forth for me by my parents. Like, I grew up in a church. I went to church 2-3 times a week. And while I'm not like a practicing churchgoer, I still try to live my life by those same standards that I grew up in. And that, to boil it down, like, funny enough, I work for a company that said, like, one of their main tenets is love all, serve all. And of course, that serve all comes from the fact that they started the company as a restaurant, and so serve everybody, whatever, no matter who they are. But my tenet that I had kind of boiled everything down to was love all, serve the one. So love everybody no matter what. And in my case, it was serve Christ. But yeah, a little bit of that. I don't want to get too preachy on here, but that was the main tenet that I lived by, the main tenet that I still try to live by. And that's the foundation that I want to give to my kids. It's just be a good person. No matter who everybody is to you, if you are yourself and you are a good person, then they will see that. So, okay, I'm getting on the interstate. I'm kind of rambling. I know that's kind of what these things are, is they're just rambles, but I'll check you guys later. See you tomorrow. I love you guys. Okay, bye.